Hey up viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to another round of Reddit with myself and the Phil.
We're looking at Ask Reddit.
Ask Reddit this time.
This is general questions that are coming around, but all sorts of various things, so we can answer our own and then have a look at the comments as well. Okay,
so shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your strongest opinion that's not political, religious or moral? That's a difficult one to answer because I feel like all kinds of things fall potentially into one or more of those categories. I'm trying to think, what would it be for me?
What's your strongest opinion?
Strongest opinion that's not political, religious or moral. I guess just telling people. Actually, is this more of a political one? I'll say it anyway, and I don't know. You can tell me if you think it's a bit more towards the political side.
Fire away.
Not so much like a particular political issue, but just saying like in debates. Not necessarily feeling like you have to go in there having to prove a point at any cost. Because a lot of people, I think, approach a debate with like this kind of mentality of I have to win. But actually, sometimes the value of debate is not winning. It's just learning about other perspectives and understanding them.
Yeah. I think you've mentioned that in a CV Hunting video before.
Yeah.
Where I think it was the debate one.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's interesting, like what sort of opinions that you would think of. I don't really know.
It's hard, isn't it, when you exclude those three categories? I think everyone has strong viewpoints on certain things that fall under them. But
I'm just trying to think
So like for me, I would say it's just that debating point. Because I think, actually, again.
I actually had thought one. Keeping exotic animals as pets. I don't really think you should really be doing that. They need to be, living in their own environment in the wild and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't really feel that we should keep exotic animals as pets. But,
Indeed, I can see where you come from with that one, absolutely. Unless you're like a specialist and you have the specialist provisions for keeping them exotic pets, no, don't.
Okay, so people should learn the saying, I don't know, is a perfectly acceptable thing to say and very often the most accurate.
Yes, please. That's always a good one to live by. There's nothing wrong with not knowing something.
Yeah, you don't always have to try and go,
Indeed. Yeah, it's like one of my grandmothers, sometimes it's like that, where she tries to provide an answer when it's clear she doesn't know. It's just like, look, grandma, don't. Just say you don't know. That's fine.
Okay. Swimming should be taught to every child.
Yes, absolutely, it should be. It's a life skill.
At a very young age, because if they get into a serious situation, it could be a goner.
Indeed,
It's not what you want.
Absolutely. So swimming is absolutely very much a fantastic one. Any others? New ones?
It's much more important to be predictable on the road than polite. When it's your turn, go.
Yeah, that's actually, I can understand that one. Like, for example, if you are approaching a turn off and you technically have right of way, but don't stop to flash out and say, oh yeah, you lot come across. Because then they're like, they'll be like, well, should I, shouldn't? I don't know if I should. And then, eventually you're like, oh, well, if you're not going to go, and then you pull, and then they pull at the same time.
It causes all sorts of issues. Absolutely. That's
Do you know what one I once saw back when I was once up north? It was just on one side of Catterall, where the road that goes through Catterall meets the A6. And I was once coming down the A6, and obviously the A6, you go at a fair speed, like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, so it's a very busy road.
And so obviously, because you're going at 50 miles an hour, you're going very fast. Of course, because you're on the road, you have, right of way. People coming on from that road that comes from Catterall, they have to obviously stop at the end to make sure nothing's coming. But there was this one driver who was on the A6, had complete right of way, but chose to basically stop right there in the middle of the A6 to let people come out. And I'm like, what are you doing? You can't do that. That's not their right of way. You're on the A6, there's people behind you. You have to go. Don't try to be polite here, just be predictable, just go. Use your right of way. Indeed.
Okay, interesting ones.
That's an anecdote there. Yeah.
What are we asking next? What normal thing makes you feel uncomfortable?
A tricksy one. Sometimes, what normal thing makes you feel uncomfortable? It can be, I don't know, sometimes if you're having like a conversation and the conversation goes to like maybe a particular, like something going on in current affairs or politics or something, but which you aren't knowledgeable about, but they have very strong opinions on, and they immediately sort of like go off on one a bit.
Yeah, oh god.
That can be a bit awkward. Yeah, because it's like I don't actually know what you're talking about or something like that. But yeah, that's something that can be a bit of a discomforter. How about you, Phil? Is there anything that jumps out at you?
Sometimes when you see people taking, when you're in restaurants and people taking like Instagram photos and all that,
Yeah.
it seems to become a bit of a norm nowadays. And I don't. It feels a bit strange, I must say. When
Everyone around that's doing it, especially if like you're sat with someone, I think, who's doing that, and you're just like, because there's always that like politeness thing about, oh, don't start eating until everyone's got their food, and
Yes, anyway.
all start together, and then someone's like busy taking the picture, and you're like, can I stand up?
I want to
have
eat,
to
I want to
wait?
bloody
Yeah,
eat.
indeed, that's an uncomfortable. Yeah,
So we're in the context having to talk to someone when there's silence. Sometimes I just be around you and chill, or just don't feel like talking. It doesn't make me sad or anything.
yeah. I think some people, do find that uncomfortable. Like,
The silence,
some people are kind of comfortable with it. I'm like one of those who can sometimes be comfortable with it, but I know other people can't be. So
Yes.
sometimes people feel the need to kind of fill the silence a bit.
Bumping into people when you're in high school,
Yeah.
It can be a bit awkward.
Suppose.
Like you haven't seen them in a while. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, hi, yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't remember. Please don't remember me. Yeah.
Yes. Don't really get
Oh,
that
Phil,
signal.
it's you.
Oh,
no.
Phil, it's
Oh,
you.
no,
Do you
please
remember
go
the
away.
time we accidentally smeared shit all over the windows in the boys' toilets?
Because I never
Oh,
did that.
nope. Nope.
People singing in front of me.
Let's see the one ironically singing. No idea how to react to it. If a partner ever tried to serenade me, I'd moonwalk off a bridge. Wow.
Yeah, I suppose it can be a bit uncomfortable.
It can be perhaps a bit uncomfortable if you're not expecting them to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if, like, for example, you're out on the street and, the person is like a busker or something, that's fine. That's what they do. But, yeah, I can understand that one.
People saying my name when I'm working because I'm wearing a name tag. A lot of people do it to feel more of a connection or whatever. It makes me unbelievably uncomfortable hearing strangers call me by my name without me introducing
I
myself.
can sort of understand that, yeah. Because when I used to work at the booths, we would just have a name tag and it would just be our first name and that's it. The managers and supervisors, of course, they got like a name badge, like their full name
Yes,
and
they
title and all that. I was just Andrew and all that, and yeah, it can be a bit sort of uncomfortable because
So Andrew, can I get me a nice fresh cake?
Yeah.
It can be.
It's
be
less
annoying.
it's less uncomfortable if they're a regular though, because you feel like kind of you
You've
get
got
to
like
know
a connection
them.
with it as well.
Indeed.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
it's time for a new question. Okay.
Strong, yes. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Reply with your drink of choice, and a bartender will tell you what it says about you. What is your drink? Well, if this is like a pub drink, then I'd say cider, I guess.
That's a pretty good pub drink. For me, I would just, because I'm not a big alcohol fan, so I would just go as a plain, simple old orange juice.
Yeah.
Because a bartender will still give it to you, because you can get that.
So is there an actual bartender in the comments who is maybe going to say something about those drinks? Scroll down a bit.
Cherry martini, a mojito.
Yeah.
You don't have any mint.
Wow. A bit slow. Hell yeah, they're tasty.
But, okay.
Yeah.
Cheapest beer on tap.
Don't read.
Possibly work class hero.
Right.
Vodka
Wow.
cranberry.
Urinary tract infection.
Oh dear, gin and tonic. Easy order classic, you know what you like. Yeah. So there's looks like some of these bartenders.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. That's a bit
Indeed.
of, okay. What's a sexual misconception you've had for way too long?
Ooh, I don't know about any myself, but I can certainly think of ones which are still incredibly prevalent today.
Yeah.
Just in general, which are completely wrong. I think probably actually, well, one maybe that I've never really thought about it, but if you'd actually asked me, I probably wouldn't have actually known. So there've been like scientific studies that say that moaning is not a typical sign of the female orgasm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you see like in fucking movies and stuff where they're having like
Yeah, so it's
love
not really
scenes
a proper
and
thing.
like the female characters moaning like hell, never really happens.
Yeah.
It's not really an accurate measure of whether a woman is actually having orgasm. But yes, so that's one thing. Perhaps it's like a minor one, but I feel like there's probably a lot of misconceptions around like female bodies,
as well, especially the men find, but also the female with the male as well.
Yeah.
Especially the G spot for men is up their arse.
Yeah.
Or something.
Indeed.
What did someone say? When I was around middle school age, I thought that oral sex meant talking dirty.
Wow, you were innocent, strawberry cat.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Just the thing. What else have people said?
I thought the tickling feeling in my clit when it took was an orgasm, and my ex went with it and just put in a whole lot of effort. Imagine my surprise the first time I had one. He thought I was possessed or something, the way I was screaming and shaking. Yeah, there's a lot of quite vigorous.
There are some really fascinating videos on YouTube from like TED Talks of like basically like female psychologists who are basically explaining like how many misconceptions women themselves often have about their own bodies as a result of just like old-fashioned education.
Because you've had that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's quite kind of sad sometimes. Peggy Orenstein, there was a talk on TED.
TED Talks are very interesting, very informative as well.
They are, yeah.
Right, it is you.
Okay, what's a subtle sign someone has been through some shit? Well, I'd say if they just look really fucking exhausted.
I would say when they look quite reserved with what they're going to say. And things, you're not getting much out of them. You're not maybe they're just being silent, but they're not. Or the famous 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, that too. Just tired, exhausted looking.
I've got from Nix's here, disproportionate reactions. Their reaction to most things are normally even low key, but they have a huge response to something minor, a key sign of trauma.
Yeah, it could be like a trigger or something. Trigger word or whatever.
Paying very close attention to people's expressive body language, mostly if they're underreacting things and over-explaining things that probably seem inconsequential to most. Okay,
that makes sense as well.
Yeah, I can understand that. Usually bad memory for the kind of person they are.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yes, that's some interesting things that we thought as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Right. What can you buy for $1 in your country?
Well, amend that to £1 for us. Well,
it's $1. It's $1. But what is the equivalent of $1 we can buy in your country?
Yeah, I don't know what the equivalency is.
I think it's. Let's have a look.
Yeah. Hold on. You have to. New tab. To the right. There you go. So
$1 is.
Dollars to pounds will do. There we go. One United States is £0.83.
So it's about 83p. 80p.
God, I don't know if can you get anything as well. There's probably stuff in like supermarkets like Lidl and Aldi here that you can probably get.
Yeah, it's some sweets. I think
probably. But there's not a lot. I think.
I know.
Nothing major that you could get for less than $1 in the UK. For 83p.
I know, it's really bad.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe a couple of sweets, some chewing gum. Some of the. I was thinking there's a petrol station near some of the chocolate bars there, but I think they're about 98p or something.
Yeah.
There's some little biscuits there, like Belvitas that are like 69p and things like that. Nice. Things like that. But let's see what other people said. 1 kilo of a mango. Oh, you're lucky. What country is that then?
No idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kilo of mango. Wow, where is this? At 25 cents more, you can get that in Egypt.
Egypt. I don't think it's going to say where that person was.
It's probably in India.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
Ramen. Ramen's quite cheap, in all sorts of different places. So I can understand because it's the student food, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I can understand why ramen would be quite cheap.
Indeed.
Hope and disappointment in the form of a lottery ticket.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh dear.
Of course.
Spend that $1, don't get anything in return. But who knows, maybe one day you will get that huge amount in return.
Maybe one day, yeah. There's probably like people out there who've written like statistical guides on how to game the lottery system, like what are the most likely numbers that always come up.
100%.
Yeah.
Unless we've got any more interesting one to go past the thread.
Someone said €1. Okay.
There you go, yeah, so you can buy it. Is that
perfect exchange rate? Must be. Indeed.
A lollipop. Oh, edit now 6 lollipops.
Okay,
right,
that's not too bad. You got those for your summer at least. Fantastic.
Okay,
right.
So that's it.
Don't want to trade off you. Okay. Dear men, what is a common misconception women have of the male body? Ooh. Right. So.
That we actually have 5 livers.
Wow. 5 livers.
5 livers all working in conjunction with one another.
I think something that I've heard that sometimes women do struggle to understand about men. I mean, it's sort of bodily related. It's more kind of like neurology. It's that idea of men sometimes just being able to like switch off their brain, kind of, to say so to speak, and just think about nothing. Because I've heard of I've had like lots of female friends, for example, who've like said, "How do you do that?" I'm just like I'm like constantly thinking of stuff. I'm like thinking about things I need to do, things that need sorting out now or whenever they need sorting out. And then obviously, like, they sort of think, you know, how do men sort of do that thing sometimes where they just switch that voice off and then just think about nothing?
Yeah, we get that.
Yeah.
And also, there is a misconception where it's said that men think about sex every 7 seconds.
There is that.
No, not always the case.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's just not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, boobs!
Boobs. Yeah.
But
indeed.
What are the comments saying?
That cum volume / energetic release is directly proportionate to how we feel about you / how much we like you. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't work like that.
That's one
Indeed.
thing that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Erections only happen because of arousal. They can happen anywhere for no reason.
That's true. They can. Yes.
Especially in puberty.
Yeah. What else have we got?
Let's just
find a new thread. Yeah. Keep
What's
going
wrong?
down. Oh, what's wrong?
What's wrong? That's something. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. If you're feeling my dick through my pants and I'm soft, that does not depict its actual size. Yes.
What?
Interesting.
My GF thought my dick goes in and out of my pelvis if it's a retractable part. Oh dear.
Wow, somebody needs to go back to high school education,
Yeah.
or maybe not if high school education fails them
Doing
that
that,
badly.
yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which will be: what socially accepted norm do you not approve of?
Ooh, okay. Right.
Okay, socially accepted norm,
Some etiquette or something that you personally don't think should
Yeah.
be the case.
sometimes, you know, with these internet challenges.
Yeah.
I sometimes like planking, and the fact that when they get to like the really high places,
Yeah.
and then some have actually died because of it.
Indeed. Yeah.
And
do you think?
it's really not good because if they go and do these things, and people copy them, and then they have injuries, and then it can lead to death and all sorts of shit like this.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I suppose like that kind of peer pressure sometimes.
Peer pressure,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's sort of, I guess you could say, kind of like a social norm if you're talking about certain circles, especially like teenage circles, things like that. So yeah, I get that can be in there. I'm trying to think of like any that really spring out to me. Social norms I don't approve of. I think, yeah, being in sort of academia, there's just like old-fashioned like rules in like graduation ceremonies when you go in there and you full like gown and cap. For example, there's one that's technically sometimes still is in certain institutions where like male members of staff can take their caps off during the ceremony, but women can't.
Oh,
It's like a really weird little rule like that.
Yeah, that's a bit silly.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's one of those rules that increasingly I think many people just don't bother with it anymore, but still it's one of those things that technically is still there, but which is like old-fashioned. It's like there's no real reason for it to exist, I don't think.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
We've got celebrity worship. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, there's a lot of celebrity worship, and
Yeah. Indeed. Celebrity worship can be a real annoying one sometimes.
all the filters and stuff on social media. People don't look like that in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff where they put the filter. Stop. You don't need to do it. Just you're beautiful in your own image. Keep up with that. Do you know what I mean?
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
Mall stores demanding your email. No, I don't want a discount. I'm fine paying full price. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop. Do you want to sign up to our news? No, I don't. I just want to pay for this and go, please.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always some email address. No. Phone number. No. Do you want to sign up for a rewards program? No.
It's tricky because often managers do kind of tell you, as if you're an employee in like a shop, you've got to upsell things, you've got to try and push these things. So, you're kind of just trying to do your job, but I can understand why it is annoying.
Yeah, it's very, very annoying.
Yeah.
The paparazzi and child beauty pageants. Oh my god, yeah. What's
Child
going
beauty
on
pageants
there?
can be a bit odd sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that corporation and government agencies can collect our online data. That's,
That is a bit of a tricky one.
Facebook and Amazon and all these are doing it. How important self-confidence is in literally every aspect of life.
Yeah. Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice socially accepted norm. Okay.
Ooh, what's a movie that you saw way too young?
Okay.
God, there probably is one, and I probably like repressed it in my memory because I was so fucking traumatized at the time. I
think
saw it.
For me, The Exorcist.
The Exorcist, yeah.
Yes, I believe it's an 18. And I think I watched it when I was about 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that did. The scene in it with the famous backwards crawl down the stairs. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Still don't like that scene.
I'm trying to think. Movies. Is it probably really tame now by today's standards? But I remember as a very, I was a very, very young kid here. But I think I once wandered into the room when the old 1980s Clash of the Titans was on.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a scene where like you get like a full facial shot of Medusa for the first time, and her eyes like light up as she turns onto stone. And the thing is, when you watch it now, of course, the special effects in that are like 1980s, they're ropey as hell. But for like as a kid, like something about that, just like the eyes lighting up and that really horrible death stare that she does, is just
I think it's like an Alien as well. We've got RoboCop. We've got Stephen King's miniseries.
Anything by Stephen King, probably.
The Shining.
Oh, of course.
Yes, that's one.
Indeed.
Howard
the fucking duck.
Now since I know what duck tits look like. Oh dear.
Wow.
Dear. The Ring. Yes.
Yeah.
One.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Right, what question are we doing now? Okay, replace one word in a movie title with dildo.
Oh God.
What is the plot about now?
Okay, The Good, the Bad and the Dildo.
Okay,
so
what's the plot about?
Basically, two cowboys set out on a journey to find Arch Stanton's treasure, only when they get to the casket where his body's supposed to, and his treasure is supposedly buried, they discover that it's full of dildos.
There you go.
There we go.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Dildos.
oh God, oh no.
Harry Potter has lives his second life out at school, working on, but finds this mysterious chamber that can only be opened with a dildo in your hand. And as soon as you go and see it, there's dildos flying all over, and then he uses it to pleasure Ginny.
And he has to use a special spell, Dildus Vibratus.
That's it.
Oh no.
What have we got here?
No.
My big fat Greek dildo.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
3 men and a dildo. Snow White and the 7 dildos. Oh Jesus. Oh dear. Where's my dildo? Yeah. The Emperor's New Dildo. Oh, that's funny.
That ruins a few kids' movies, doesn't it? That does. Yeah.
Okay, it's you.
What is the wackiest thing you've seen in a public bathroom?
Ooh.
I can think of something. You've been to Barton Grange, Phil? Near, Billsborough, up in Lancashire. You've been into the men's toilets, where they have the rather oddly shaped urinals.
In Barton Grange?
Yeah.
I haven't been into a bathroom in
Barton
the city.
Grange. No, Barton Grange, the garden centre near
Billsborough. Right, you should have said the garden
centre.
Oh, right, Barton Grange is actually the,
is it?
the city.
Okay. Oh, right. I had no idea it was
a town.
No, I had no idea it was a town. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Barton. It's Barton.
Oh, right.
So anyway, the public bathroom there.
Yeah, so the men's bathroom there,
okay.
They have these urinals, and each one is the most ridiculous, like, flower shape. It's like big sort of bell-shaped flowers.
Yeah, no, I've seen that before. Yeah.
It's quite wacky. It's quite something, indeed.
I'm just trying to think, because... Oh, I think I saw it because when I've been to the gym, going to into toilets in there, I think there was someone taking a piss in the urinal with their hand against the wall, and they're going, oh!
No, right.
Oh, what the hell's going
making
on
so much noise, isn't
they're making noise. Okay.
Are you pissing, or are you like trying to pass out every fluid in your body at once to dehydrate yourself in the space of several seconds? Who knows?
At the theatre at workout, I was cleaning the men's restroom, and in one of the stalls was an open condom wrapper, a tiny empty bottle of nacho cheddar seasoning we sell, and the seasoning scattered near the core on the floor. Bethesda wishes they had environmental storytelling like that. Yeah.
Oh boy, what was going on there? Sounds a bit weird.
I don't know what was going on.
This does remind me, however, of a video I once watched. It's like a clip from a Yogscast stream with, I think it was Duncan, Rabs, Pedguin and Boba. And Bo was telling a story about when she used to work at, what's it called? Barnes and Noble, the bookstore in the US.
Yeah.
And apparently it was a common occurrence in Barnes and Noble, in the store that she worked at, that they would find like photography books of suicide girls in the men's bathroom, and the pages will be all sticky. I see the horror on your face.
Right. Yes, that's something.
Yeah, that's a horrible one. What's that one say? I was taking a dump at a movie theatre and a little kid climbed under the stall and grabbed my foot. I screamed and kicked that kid so hard right in the face out of sheer instinct. He cried. His dad said, "That's what you get, Gavin." Well,
Gavin's out again. It's always a Gavin.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I walked in and my eyes were immediately stood by a fully naked man running a stick of deodorant up and down his crack. Good God.
That was one way to get rid of the shitty smell. Good Lord. Yeah.
Right. Let's do a couple more, shall we?
Okay, couple more. Yeah.
So, up to you. Oh, that's for
Oh, wait a
Canadians.
minute,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not going to be. Okay.
Okay, who's the biggest piece of shit on the earth, in your opinion?
Ooh.
There's a few people I could potentially mention.
Right.
Yeah. I think I've actually mentioned this one to you before. That American pharmaceutical CEO, Martin Shkreli, or whatever he's called.
Martin Shkreli, yeah.
Who's just, oh god, it's sort of like the hearings in Congress where he was there, and he's just like,
upping the price of the
drugs,
medication and things like that. Yeah, he's awful.
Yeah, indeed, that. And I mean, I'm a bit worried about if I start going to any of the others, it'll get a little bit political. But yeah, there's people in British politics who I would name. There are people in American politics I would name.
Yeah, you will have these people.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think. Andrew Taylor.
Oh my goodness. I wonder who that could possibly be.
I mean, there's it's difficult to say. Some of my old I've got, I'm trying to think if there's some old colleagues that I had that weren't very nice people. I did have way back in the past.
Yeah.
What have we got here? My co-worker is always quick to take credit for other people's work. Oh, and when confronted, talks about how he grew up in poverty and needs every advantage he can to make in this world. He didn't grow up poor. His family has had several
That's
maids.
just manipulative behaviour. That is lying and just that's pretty bad.
Should be doing that.
Yeah, indeed.
Whoever the fuck invented pocket pants, the person who invented them is actually fighting them. Yeah,
wow.
He said he actually did say he was sorry.
Yeah,
indeed. As well about that. No competition on earth with more qualified candidates.
Yeah.
The people who set prices for hospitals and insurance.
Yeah, that's a very American one by the sound of it. That one is.
Yeah, our NHS is really good with that one. The Nestle CEO thinks water's a privilege or whatever.
Oh god, yeah. There is actually one I can think of. It was a games company, video games development company. It might have been one of the big ones, but there was like a CEO once in one of there who had this attitude of work should not be fun, which is like a weird fucking attitude to take to it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Activision or something, but you know, something like that. But yeah,
it's just that's not good.
Indeed. Those names are familiar. I think there's like a murder case in Japan where they like tortured a girl.
Oh god,
like
yes,
really
I've heard
horrible.
of that. Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah. So I think I know. Junko Furuta, she was the victim.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh my god, that's horrendous.
That was a horrifying story. That was. Steve Montgomery Burns. Oh dear. I love the emotional whiplash there. We just went from a really serious one to a completely comical one.
I know, yeah. Right, for the final one. It's me. Okay. You can invent a disease that doesn't hurt anybody, only pisses them off or inconveniences them. What are you coming up with?
Okay, so it doesn't hurt, but it just inconveniences.
I've got one. One that constantly throughout their day makes them see things that will be mildly infuriating, which is obviously another Fred. Yeah,
indeed.
Like for a disease actually affects their eyes or something. So like when a normal person sees like the tiles and all, it's all nicely lined up, but they would see one of the tiles like slightly out of alignment.
Yeah. I'd say like a laughing disease, so they start laughing at the most inopportune moments.
Oh god, that'd be awful. Yeah. We are gathered here today to remember and commemorate. Oh dear.
Oh dear. A disease where you constantly feel like you're about to sneeze. Oh yeah, but nothing happens. That's
awful.
A sneezant, as Michael Scott says. Indeed. Someone's linked, calm down Satan. Yeah.
A disease where the person constantly has the sensation there's a single hair in the mouth at all times.
Wow.
Or like having a bit of grass.
Oh yeah.
Stuck in your Ugh.
Or having like that dry feeling of something there in the throat. Indeed.
You can only speak in rhymes.
Oh yes. You can only speak in rhyme, Phil. Otherwise I'm going to
do the time.
Yeah.
That was you wake up at a random time in the morning and no alarm or anything will be capable of waking you up.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be awful. Frequent intermittent feeling of popcorn kernel skin stuck in your gums. Freak enough to be annoyed but not constantly get used to it.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, well, those are some interesting little questions.
There's some good ones right there. I'm just sort of now wondering, because we had that question earlier about misconceptions about men's bodies. I wonder if there's some good r/subreddits on things like misconceptions about whether it's about men's bodies or like misconceptions about women's bodies. Then just like reading about some of the real crazy fucking weird things people believe.
Yeah, there'd be all sorts of those.
Yeah, that'd just be crazy. That will. Well, thanks for joining me there, Phil. That's
Absolutely,
good.
we've had some fun.
Yeah,
we've had some good little questions there.
Indeed, yeah. So
answer as well yourself, viewers, to those things as well.
Yeah. So Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with the links to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. But a like's always appreciated as well if you want to leave one if you enjoyed. Other than that, this is the two of us signing off now.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, sort of like that. Whoa. Okay, he's got fast picking attack. Oh, you bastard. Shit. Okay, we did it. I think I took a bit of health there. You see on the sort of UI in the bottom left, like red bar on the top. I think that's basically your health. To blast a stream of flames and channel the magic power into volatile fire has a lasting effect on those who come into contact with it. Yeah, we figured that one out already. That's fine. And what's going on here? Any monstos? Want to cause further problems? What about this glistening shit? Can we burn it? Apparently not, no. Right, so there is a staircase that takes us up. Okay, we'll go towards them. That's pretty fine, isn't it?